Hello everyone, and thank you for joining us for this online screening of the artwork created through the Natur and Byth Arts Engagement Programme. If you're new to the programme, Natur and Byth is Wales's flagship species recovery programme. It's a partnership between Natural Resources Wales and 9 environmental charities, with 11 projects taking place across the country. The programme is mainly funded by the National Lottery Heritage Fund, but also with additional support from 5 other funders, including Welsh Government, Arts Council of Wales, the Esme Fairbairn Foundation, and the Landfill Disposals Tax Community Scheme. Natur and Byth has 2 key aims: to save 67 threatened species by implementing ecological management and interventions, but also to connect people with their local nature and spread understanding of Wales's wonderful natural heritage. As part of that, the programme is exploring new ways to nature connection, like our Arts Engagement Programme. Through our Arts Engagement Programme, we wanted to explore how the science-driven conservation sector and the arts can work together, whether creative practice can help people connect more deeply with their local nature, and if that connection can also support enhanced well-being. With guidance from Ado Creative, we worked with 10 incredible artists, each linked to a different project, place, and community. And from August 2024 to March 2025, they explored how to reimagine our species and habitats in ways that would help people connect more deeply with them. Many of us already working on the project weren't sure what to expect, as we had had less experience in the fine arts world. But the process and outcomes have been wonderful to see. The artists have found powerful ways to help people empathize with threatened species and embody our precious habitats, leading to deeper connections and reported improvements in well-being. And now we're so excited to share some of that work with you. We hope it helps you feel connected to the species and habitats too, and maybe even inspires you to explore your local nature in a new way. It's certainly done that for me. Before we begin screening the work of our artists, we've got 3 short messages to share. 2 from some of our funders, and 1 from the Natur and Byth programme manager.
Efallai mae'r ffeithiau a ffigyrau Brydeinig bob dydd y coleg, ond emosiwn a theimladau Brydeinig y celfyddydau. Bydd pam mae artistiaid person y Natur and Byth wedi bod ar ôl allweddol i'w chwarae mwyn helpu cyrraedd nôl y rhaglen hon o ailgysylltu pobl gyda natur, ein lles ni fel pobl ac ar fydd ein rhywogaethau o dan bygythiad. Mae Cyngor Celfyddydau Cymru yn falch iawn i fod yn cefnogi'r rhaglen hon, fel ein bod ni wedi ymrwymo i hyrwyddo rôl bwysig y celfyddydau wrth fynd i'r afal ar argyfyngau hinsawdd a natur. Rydyn ni wedi gosod cyfiawnder hinsawdd yn un o'n 6 egwyddor strategol, ac yn ein cynllun cyfiawnder hinsawdd y celfyddydau a datblygwyd mewn partneriaeth â Chyfoeth Naturiol Cymru. Rydyn ni wedi amlinellu camau y byddwn ni'n eu cymryd mwyn cefnogi mwy o greadigrwydd nid ysbrydoli pobl i weithredu dros cyfiawnder hinsawdd. Pan geswyd gyfle yn ddiweddar i glywed yr artistiaid yn siarad am eu gwaith, wnaethon ni sôn am eu gwaith fel cyfieithu, o drosi ffeithiau a ffigyrau, iaith wyddonol, straeon, arfonion a theimladau. Wnaethon ni sôn am roi llais i bobl ac am gysylltu, ein cysylltu ni gyda'n llefydd, ein diwylliannau, ein cerdd a'n cymunedau, mwyn data o pellter rhwng Gymru, a'n hamgylchedd, a'n gyhyddu ni yn ôl at ein gilydd. Wnaethon ni sôn am gyfuno mathau gwahanol o wybodau, colegol, emosiynol a diwylliannol, ac am herio ystradebau negyddol am rywogaethau fel yslimod, cyfau cop a mysod, drwy gynnig persbectif gwahanol ar y byd. Mae'r cyfoeth o syniadau, teimladau, cysylltiadau sydd wedi blodeuo o dan ofal o'r artistiaid, yn tystio i bŵer y celfyddydau i drawsnewid ein perthynas gyda natur. A gobeithio yn fawr y bydd hwn yn annog llawer mwy o fydweithio rhwng artistiaid ac ecolegwyr yn y dyfodol, ar ein lles ni fel unigolion ac er lles natur.
Pnawn da pawb, my name is John Clark. I'm the Programme Manager for Natur and Byth, and I'm just going to say a few short words before we move on to the films. And that's to say a huge thank you to our artists. So to our 10 residencies and 12 artists in total who worked across Natur and Byth with all of our projects that were focused on species most at risk of extinction or under threat in Wales. We always wanted to work with artists in Natur and Byth. And the reason for that is we have a lot of scientists, a lot of ecologists, a lot of scientists working across the programme. But what artists can bring to the nature emergency agenda is a way to look at it from a different perspective and to really explore what that feels like for the people, the communities living in these areas where these species are so rare, so under threat. And really, we've been blown away by the insights these creative professionals working across the programme have had on the plight of how to save species within Wales. So diolch yn fawr iawn, a huge thank you to all of our artists. And just to say that you can go back and see their work on the new website. So there's a new Natur and Byth website that launches today. So you can at your leisure go back and see the final pieces and also see some of the images, the process of making the artwork with all the communities across Wales that our artists were working within. And that will be on the People's Collection for Wales, which is an archive run by the National Library for Wales in Aberystwyth. And those will be online. Huge thank you to our principal funder, the Arts Council of Wales, for supporting these residencies. This couldn't be done without their support. And of course, our main funder for the programme, which is the National Lottery Heritage Fund. So please enjoy the films, diolch yn fawr, and enjoy.
The Natur and Byth Partnership is Wales's flagship species recovery project. It unites 9 environmental charities with Natural Resources Wales to deliver the country's largest natural heritage and outreach programme to save species from extinction and reconnect people to nature. We invited artists, makers, designers and other creatives with a collaborative and participatory approach and an interest in communicating wider ecological issues to undertake associate artist residencies as part of the Natur and Byth Arts Engagement Programme. The aim of the artist residency programme was to rethink the way we see species. Nature has an amazing, well-documented ability to help us heal and lift our feelings of physical and mental well-being. In creative activities and mini projects, the artists worked with audiences, specifically targeting those with low physical and/or mental well-being, to tell the fascinating stories of our most vulnerable species through arts and culture.
Fi'n creu ffyn esgwyd ar lliw. Dyma fath o cerflun sydd wedi cael ei ysbrydoli gan lliwiau o'r sample ansawdd dŵr. Mae'n dibynnu ar faint o'r nitrad a'r ffosfad sydd yn y ddŵr. Mewn i'r ymchwil o'r hanes o'r taith Bererindod oedd yn dilyn y ffynonau ar draws y llyn. So rai o'r ymchwiliadau wedi wneud oedd wneud rhan o'r taith cerdded o'r Bererindod ar draws y llyn, cymryd sketches ar y ffordd, a just edrych ar y ffordd ma dŵr yn llifo, so rhoi drops o ddŵr ar darn o papur a gweld sut mae'r siap yn newid ar y tudalen. Sydd braidd yn edrych fel rhywbeth allan o eglwys, ond sydd hefyd bach yn edrych fel map.
For me, this project was really about community and about pulling people together and finding ways to connect through being in natural environments. I wanted to find a secretive species but also a secretive habitat, so I started looking at the fen-raft spider, and one of its habitats is Crumlin Bog. And Crumlin Bog is this area of Swansea that is really in the centre of the city, but nobody knows it's there. I was interested in it as a kind of marginalised space, and for me, I wanted to engage queer communities in that space, and so a marginalised group, finding a marginalised place and then being held in that place and feeling belonging and safety and community felt really important to the narrative of the project.
One of the 10 briefs mentioned the idea of interviewing local people, which is something I have done. I do a lot in my work. So the art I've produced for this project lends itself to the theme of ecology in a way that it's highlighting the situation around the high brown fritillary butterfly, which has got its last colony in Wales at Old Castledown. I interviewed the people most closely related to the project, the volunteers, the commoners and the ecologists there, and used their words to create lyrics for a song which has been composed by Welsh composer Emma Damon Thomas. And the song is a clarion call for the high brown fritillary butterfly. The song has a very tragic start, but it moves through a middle part where a resolution is found and it ends on a hopeful note. And I think hope is what people are looking for, but it's also an imagining of another future where we do make the right decisions and we can come together and focus on nature.
Nes I ddewis I wneud gwaith yn benodol oedd yn gweithio efo pobl ifanc a cael mewn i ysgolion, oherwydd nid yn unig mae'r rhan o'n gweithio fel artist i bod yn blynedd dwytha gwneud gwaith celf, ond hefyd hwyluso sesiynau. Mae bob tro dwi'n meddwl y cyfle i weithio efo pobl ifanc yn arbennig, a dwi'n meddwl mae ffordd maen nhw'n edrych ar gelf, ac hefyd yn brosiect yma'n edrych ar byd natur mor ysbrydoledig a maen nhw'n gymaint egni. Dwi'n meddwl mae celf yn bwysig iawn i brosiectau fel Natur am Byth. Oherwydd lot o weithiau pan ni'n edrych ar alla rhywiageithau prin neu byd natur, da ni'n gallu lot o ffigurau, a mae'n anodd iawn weithiau i gysylltu efo ffigurau, felly mae celf yn rhoi'r cyfle yna i bobl gysylltu yn emosiynol efo'r rhywiageithau. Oherwydd os da ni'n gweld darn o gelf neu'n clywed sŵn neu yn profi ffilm amdan yr rhywogaeth, da ni efo cyfle lot mwy gysylltu efo ar lefel personol yn hytrach na clywed amdano nhw neu darllen nhw fel y pethau yma sy'n bell i ffwrdd. Oherwydd go iawn maen nhw o gwmpas ni yn cynefin ni, a fel arfer jyst lawr y lôn yna.
Film and digital processes has really enabled me to interrogate some important issues with this project. And the art film, When Sally Met Sally, straddles between scientific reports explaining the significance and importance of the stonefly and the story of Sally. This interchange between fiction and reality offered scope for creative interventions with community members. The workshops included dance performances, film presentations, painting, drawings, discussion, and then shared memories. A main focus of discussion with the members of the Rainbow community was about isolation and invisibility leading to loneliness in old age.
Mae cael dod allan I lefydd gwych yma fel Corsica, cael profi'r natur, a wedyn cael defnyddio hwnna wedyn I greu gwaith efo pobl ifanc a creu gweithio celf, mae o'n anhygoel a dwi'n lwcus iawn yn gael fo'n swydd.
Well, we're made of nature, we come from nature, I think we belong to nature, and to be part of that process is good for my soul. I hope my art will help highlight the situation around depleting nature.
To work closely with environmental experts to unveil some of the world's ecological and environmental mysteries, I believed would not only be fascinating, but a special privilege, and it has been.
If we don't have initiatives like these, I think the subject will be ending up at the bottom of the list, and we would deprive ourselves of a chance of making a positive change.
When you invite artists to explain things in a different way and encourage engagement in a different way, it makes it physical, it makes it real, and it makes it maybe potentially more digestible. And I think that then encourages engagement, which will encourage care and a want to protect some of these spaces and species.